Big Ben strikes noon, the deadline for entering the 10th EPT London main event. And two of poker's big talkers are in town.
Sometimes in the poker arena, it's just too intense. People are slighting me and blah, 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 and I'm defensive and da-da-da-da.
Phil's a raving nutcase on the table, we all know that. I mean, he's got about 4 brain cells, but he's a good poker player.
Everybody's talking about how great I am, blah, 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 blah.
Off the table, he's a nice kid, you know. I mean, he ain't got a bad bone in his body. I mean, he's married a psychiatrist for obvious reasons, you know.
But despite the presence of old-school superstars, all eyes are on a 21-year-old mystery man.
Like, you've never heard of me, but yet in London, I've made a good amount of money. People can stay under the radar for quite a lot of time, and I'm probably one of those people.
So the 2 day ones are in the books. Drew Patel came out of nowhere on day 1A to crush the competition and finish well ahead of the pack. On day 1B, Carl Julius had a proposition for Jason Mercier.
Is this a no talking bet?
Jason won the bet, but soon busted. Vanessa Selbst also wanted some peace and quiet.
I don't have to stick it in, I can pass. Just gotta find out where I am, right? Vanessa, what you got? Now we're heads up.
Could that be why she headed for the exit early?
Marvellous.
Fellow female team pros Liv Boeree and Victoria Coren Mitchell had better days. So 335 players have returned to the Grand Connaught rooms for the start of day 2. And we've got the biggest stack in the tournament up on the main stage.
Never mind the biggest stack, we've got the biggest mouths across our 2 feature tables, Phil Hellmuth Jr. and Devilfish. And don't worry if you can't understand Devilfish, I assure you it is English and subtitles are available.
His table mates include team pro Dario Minieri,
whose English is actually slightly more intelligible.
And at the main feature table, hometown hero Drew Patel has a lot of chips. Hellmuth has very few chips. The poker brat is best known for his World Series bracelets and emotional outbursts. But these days he's taking a more zen approach to the game.
You have to be able to play your best poker, recognize all your blessings without being cocky. And I still have all the moves. I have a little more patience now too. So we'll see where that leads.
Joining Phil on the main stage is chip leader Drew Patel. Building his bankroll in London's high-stakes cash games, Drew decided to test his skill on home turf.
It's just to be better than everyone else. That's the bottom line. It's more of a competition. It's like playing a game of chess against someone. It's just a battle of minds.
There was a time when Dave the Devilfish Elliott was on every poker show on TV. Well, he's back to show the younger generation that he's not done yet.
The last time I played, like, I walked in and I knew about 3 people. There's just a lot of kids with hoodies on. I tend to rock and roll a bit and try and show them, they're not going to run over me. There's a bit of fight left in this old dog yet,
Just before registration closed, 6 additional players put down the £5,000 entry fee, including super high rollers Igor Kurganov, Tobias Reinkemeyer, and Max Altergott. That brings the PokerStars.com EPT London main event field to over 600, creating a prize pool of nearly £3 million. So day 2 of a 6-day tournament survived today, and the money is within reach.
Phil Gruesom's kicking off day 2 well below average, but the good news is that his buy-in is only about 2.5% what he spent on the super high roller. Oh my God, Phil, rude. No kiss for Ruben Visser? He's the defending champ.
It was fun playing with you. Good luck.
Poor Vicky lost a big flip to Phil Gruesome on day 1, which means she's guaranteed to win the next one. Guarantee, not guaranteed. Joseph Waldemariam, the guy from Madcom, made it to day 2. I am begging you not to have to do these jokes anymore.
We have 2 legends in their own living rooms at our 2 feature tables.
Phil Hellmuth Jr., and here come his trademark shades. Yeah, what?
Look, he's got to get his glasses, man. He must be going blind, He's getting old now, all right?
Good one, Devilfish. Now take your meds. We have to have you back by sundown. We've got Drew Patel at the feature table. He busted out of the super high roller so fast he had to change his first name to past tense.
So Patel is the big stack, Hellmuth is among the short stacks. Other players on the main stage include British pros Matt Frankland and Lawrence Houghton, former EPT champ Frederick Jensen, and online qualifier Leo McLean. In fact, half the players at this table are British. Blinds 400-800 with a 100 ante. Action folded around to Jonas Ketelsen.
Jack 10 suited. Pre-flop royal flush draw. Me likey.
The Dane raises to 1600. Frederick Jensen, pocket sixes.
Facing an early raise. Disciplined fold, especially with room for plenty of action to happen behind, including this short stack.
Hellmuth in the big blind with King Jack.
I think some folks would shove over the top here, but it's hard to get called by worse.
Hellmuth just calls.
For 800 more, he gets a look at a cheap flop, and we know he's got Ketelsen dominated.
The flop is Jack high with 2 clubs.
All the chips could be going in here.
Action check to Ketelsen. He's continuing for 1600.
All in.
Hellmuth shoves and Ketelsen calls.
No, I had a bad... Oh, I have him.
It's close to a flip. Ketelsen's got a lot of outs, 10s and clubs.
And I'm not sure Phil had to stick it in, by the way. It's a little old school to try to protect. Without the flush draw, Jack 10 might have actually folded.
Hellmuth a 60% favorite now to double up through Ketelsen. But it's a 4 on the river, which means it's going to be a chop, and...
Everyone loves a chop pot.
I was just thinking, just don't give me just not an ace or a 4. If he beats me, it's okay, but I don't want him to get lucky and tie. That's a peculiar thought to have, I guess.
Is it chop pot or chopped pot?
Chop. 1p, no ED.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
So 87 players will make the money, with the winner receiving nearly £561,000.
Dario Minieri a little late today.
Oh, look who it is. Nolan kid, how you doing?
Devilfish.
You could have combed your hair before you came. Could have combed your hair before you came.
Sorry I didn't laugh at that. I was writing it down in my burn book.
Let's head to the outer tables, where Liv Marie has moved all in. She did most of her chips in a big pot against Shannon Shaw, and now she's shoved for her last 12k.
Oh man, this guy's name is Shields and he's dressed like Scotty. Captain, Shields are dune!
Brandon Shields calls from the small blind. Ingvar Sten folds the big blind. Liv tables ace-9. Shields is behind, he's got ace-3.
Not a big fan of the call. He'll be a favorite exactly never.
Unless he flops a 3, which he has.
Worst flop ever.
Liv's got a ton of outs.
Queen for a chop?
Doesn't hit on the river. Liv Marie eliminated.
Don't look at her. Don't you look at her! Long walk out of the room when you go broke. Oof, and big time by Phil Gruesome. Insult meet injury.
Victoria Corin Mitchell is all in. Action on Andrei Kucherov.
No, we can't lose Vicky. Not another lady. This place is already a total banger fest.
Vicky's all in is for nearly 28k. And the German calls, putting Vicky at risk. She's got kings. He has an overcard. He's got ace-queen.
Vicky's due to have a big hand hold up.
It's a low flop. King's holding for now. 3 spades on board. Kucherov down to 2 outs. He doesn't hit. And so the Season 3 London champ doubles up.
Phil Gruesome and Tobias Rankemeyer are both out. Tobias just bought in today, so that was a fast one. Wishing Benny Spindler good luck. And it's just as well they got that Hasselhoff fan club meeting now.
Over to the secondary feature table, where Devilfish has been raised on the flop by Portuguese online qualifier Jose Noronha.
What call are you going to bet again?
Do everything you want.
The Ronya, more like yes, Ronya.
Devilfish folds.
Oh, very good card.
Nice flop.
Very high.
Nice hand, buddy. You got the best hand all the time.
Oh. We shall see.
No, that time you had the best hand.
Okay.
No problem.
Why is he saying no problem? Why would there have been a problem? By saying no problem, he's kind of saying that there might have been a problem, and honestly, I'd have a problem with that.
Back at the feature table, early position raise from Drew Patel. Carl Julius has just joined the table. He was the runner-up at the 2012 PCA, and he is 3-betting to 3,800.
Some would say 9-8 suited is neither good enough nor bad enough to 3-bet. Discuss. Not me, of course. Kyle knows what he's doing.
Folded around to the blinds. Houghton is out, as is Hellmuth.
Now, if Kyle gets 4-bet, he's probably going to want to call.
Drew Patel just calls. He'll have to play the flop out of position.
I think that was a 4-bet or a fold with Queen Jack.
King 7-5, 2 clubs. Patel checks to the man with the pre-flop betting lead.
Kyle's caught the biggest piece here, and I just realized you guys can't see air quotes, but you can feel them.
Julius, with his gut shot, continues for 3,400.
I do love a good C-bet after a 3-bet. It's a really terrible board texture for Patel's hand.
But he's called.
Floating with Queen High.
A jack on the turn gives Patel second pair. Julius now has a double belly buster. Patel checks a second time.
Wow, and if this goes to showdown, Kyle's face is going to resemble the one on his hat. He really should keep betting here, though. When you 3-bet with a hand like this, you have to keep on trucking when you've got a disguised draw.
He does barrel, firing 7,200.
And this should be a pretty easy call for Patel now that he's caught a piece.
He's raised!
Now I'm going to go ahead and call this move Vanilla Sky because I don't understand it and I don't think I like it. Most tournament players are probably going to slow down for the showdown value, but it looks like Patel had it in mind to bluff the turn no matter what. So now it looks like he's following through with that plan, even though we know he's got the winner.
Julius calls with his draw. Pairs his 8 on the river, but it isn't enough.
All in.
And Patel now makes a huge overbet on the river.
How interesting. How bizarre. Kyle's repped really strong here, but he's got nearly the bottom of his range, yet Patel's trying to get him to fold the top of his range. And I'm pretty sure Kyle wouldn't fold a great hand, because it looks like he's thinking about calling with this. But Kyle's also got to know how strong he himself has got to look in his opponent's eyes, so Patel should be even stronger. And now I have a nosebleed.
Julius gives it up. And Drew Patel will add nearly 27k to his stack.
I'm not going to say Patel's play was fishy, but it was cashy.
Could have been a hero.
I was expecting you to make some amazing hero call and somehow win the top.
I wanted to.
You would have been Superman and Drew would have been Doomsday, and you would be Deed.
I believed him, though.
Thanks.
Not like a compliment or anything, but...
I'm not saying I had to read one way or the other. I'm just...
Any thoughts on that hand? Tag your tweets, EPT.
What the hell is this? I told you to take me to London Bridge.
This is London Bridge.
Where's the towers? Where's the little house that makes the things go up?
Tower Bridge.
You didn't think that's the one I meant? How many bridges are there in this city?
Over this particular stretch of water, there are 34 of them.
Well, is this one at least falling down?
No, Joe, it is not falling down.
The song is very misleading. So I'm guessing there's also probably...
No American Werewolf. Although actually...
It's day 2 of the PokerStars.com EPT London main event. And leading the pack is Drew Patel. After climbing the ladder in local cash games, Drew is making a big impression in his EPT debut.
After university, I went to the internship at an accounting firm. It was fun, but I played some poker during that time. I started pretty small games, first with friends and then worked my way up the stakes, and now within the London community, I'm playing probably the biggest games around. Due to flexibility in poker, no one tells me when to go to work. It's like being self-employed, so the more effort and the more hard work you put in, the more you get out of it. I've never played in EPT before, but I live about 10 minutes away. I thought I might as well play. I just always wanted to play the super high roller. It may sound stupid, I just flicked the 50,000 in. It didn't last long at all, like less than 20 minutes, but I thought it'd just be fun. It's an expensive way to have fun. I'll play again. I'll continue playing the game as long as I find some thrill playing it. It's very hard to ever be the best, because you never know if you're the best in this game. So it's always a challenge.
It's hard to know when you're the best, but it's really easy to know when you're not the best. Remember I said that.
Andrew Mosley is one of Drew Patel's acquaintances from the high-stakes cash games in London. Looks like we've lost Vanessa Russo.
Aw, DJ Sadness.
And no title defense for Ruben Visser.
I guess you could say his stack was eviscerated.
Staying out in the field, Daniel Negreanu has gone heads up to the river against Christoph Weckman.
Weckman, don't cross the streams, buddy.
Looks like the German wants to bet.
Bro. Broski, that sucks. Ace-5 of hearts would be sick. You could have that right here. Kind of important.
Daniel is pretty short.
I love this. This is where Daniel puts a guy in the one hand he can beat so he can call. Daniel loves calling more than a needy girlfriend, I assume. What are girls like?
It's yours.
Phew.
Daniel has the best hand.
That was just like one of those scrap throws. Please, hopefully he's bluffing.
You're the first person that has ever made that call like that and won.
Really? Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Mama, how progressive.
Meanwhile, Joseph from MadCon is all in, and he's been called by British online beast Chris Brammer. Top pair for Brammer and Broadway for Joseph Waldemariam. He doubles up.
This guy is like an unpaid parking ticket. Ignore him long enough and he just doubles.
The dream is still alive for one half of everyone's favorite Norwegian musical duo, after Ylvis.
Do you think if he cashes, he'll have to give most of it to the Four Seasons?
Back to the main feature table. Action on Lawrence Houghton on the button. Ace-4 off, and he's all in. Phil Hellmuth, equally short-stacked, has King-Queen of diamonds.
I'm all in.
He reshoves.
Barely got him covered.
Liam McLean folds the big blind. So Houghton, the slight favorite with 5 cards to come.
No other way this could have gone.
How about 9? I went 9.
9 exactly?
Yep.
I could have 400 left after this hand.
Cool story, bruv.
The flop is 8-7-3, ace high holding. Hellmuth looking for a king or a queen. Now picks up a flush draw.
Uh-oh.
They had to make it interesting.
That card is sweatier than the cast of Predator.
Head board.
Would you take the 8 of diamonds?
Yes. Wait, no!
Hellmuth doesn't hit on the river.
I'm running amazing so far.
Lawrence Houghton doubles up.
Unlucky Phil.
And Hellmuth is left with 400.
Well, you shove so many times, and I feel like you're shoving with any king there.
Yep, King Queen definitely could have been ahead.
Well, I didn't call because I thought I was behind.
Oh my God, snooze. Throw a chair or something.
Man, I had such a great feeling about today. Usually I run it way up when I have a great feeling.
Oh my God, I've been dying to use this. I made up the perfect phrase for this situation. Phil, you're not out yet. So you know what I say? All it takes is a chip and a chair. Boom.
Action at the feature table has been folded around to Frederick Jensen. He was the champion of EPT Madrid in Season 8. He qualified for this event online, and he's raising with Ace-7. Phil Hellmuth with 9s, calls all in.
Black 9s, Phil's lucky hand.
Whoa.
Jensen's already made a profit by winning the side pot.
You might run it up.
Hellmuth is 71% favorite here.
Painless one for me to lose too.
Yeah, then you got the deal.
No, I mean, I only have 300, so.
Yeah.
Phil won the WSOP main event with 2 9s.
They're holding so far. Phil has to fade an ace on the turn and river.
Can't believe Jensen got it in with Ace-7. What a fish.
Phil now a 93% favorite, and unless there's an ace on the river, he will quintuple up. It's a deuce. Hellmuth now has a stack of 2,100.
I told you, it's just like that phrase that I totally made up, all on my own. All it takes is a chip and a chair.
Well, I won on it as well. That's fine.
I don't think I doubled up. I think I did better than that.
Yeah, he's got 2.5 big blinds now.
I have to say, it's a very sanguine Phil Hellmuth we're seeing here today.
Have I mellowed? I think I feel very privileged, and I think I understand it more now. Whereas in the past, it's always just a grind, and I always feel slighted. You know, there's always been a big chip on my shoulder. I don't win a tournament for 2 years. Everybody says I suck at poker. And I hear those voices. And so it's like, it just drives me and drives me. And so I haven't really always been as happy as I should be in the poker arena. Afterwards, my life is like amazing. Married 23 years, and so it's just been an amazing ride for me. It's a natural thing to have your ego flare a little bit. When I was 24, I would get set off quickly, 34 quickly. You know, I'm 49 now. I still have all the moves. I have a little more patience now too. So I think I have a much better kind of combination and feel. I feel like, yeah, I think I've changed. I thought I was going to have a great year when I was second in NBC.
Oh yeah, that was.
It's hard to have 3 great years in a row.
Of course.
You get a little cocky.
No.
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 No, that never happens.
Blinds are up to 500 and 1,000, and Hellmuth picked up queens.
This is it, huh?
Yeah.
Just little min raise.
Call or raise my last 7.
You should probably call it off.
All right, I better just 17.
Friendly, fun, but 1 player to a hand.
So Phil Hellmuth is all in again. Is Carl Julius going to give him action? No.
I wanted to do it, but...
Jonas Kettleson has ace-8 on the button.
Better put those on. Don't want anyone to get a read on you.
Kettleson re-raises in a bid to isolate, 3-betting to 3,100. Deuce 3 for the small blind, he folds. Jensen in the big blind. As Queen 4 suited.
Seems kind of unnecessary for Jensen to get involved here. He's getting 3 to 1, but...
Well, he calls. Maybe he's got a vendetta against Hellmuth.
Oh, hadn't thought of that. That was a nice attempt at isolation, like that's a nice attempt at facial hair.
3-way to the flop. Hellmuth ahead in the main pot. Kettleson having paired his 8, winning the side pot.
Jensen's missed like he had to be pretty sure it was going to happen.
Kettleson bets 2,500. And Jensen folds.
Things are looking really good for Phil to triple up.
So the side pot gets shipped to Kettleson, who will need some help to eliminate Hellmuth.
He's got the dead man's outs.
Looking for an ace or an 8.
6?
That will be a chop.
No, you're not getting a 6 this time. No.
The river is a deuce. Queen's hold. Hellmuth wins again.
Comeback in the making.
More than triple up.
6.5 big blinds. What?
Uh-oh.
Don't call it a comeback. No, seriously, don't. He's got like 9 chips.
Let's head over to the secondary feature table where Dario Minieri has called Jose Neronia's all in. Dario has a flush. Neronia needs the board to pair.
Action card on the turn.
Full house for Neronia.
Was a pleasure.
Look, neither of you has to leave. Everybody just sit.
Dario down to 3.5 big blinds. Meanwhile, let's hear from the recently departed reigning champ.
There was no real added pressure from being the defending champ. It's more like a little bit of recognition. You notice cameras following you into the rooms, but in the end, it's like once the cards are up, it's just playing poker. All of the players that are playing are very, very tough, so I can't make any predictions.
Ruben, one of 9 London champions we've crowned over the last 10 years. Benny Spindler got his title in season 8. Victoria Coren Mitchell won this tournament all the way back in season 3.
Sure, make fun of Neil Channing for buying toothpaste, but you're gonna wish you had some of that after you eat all those sugary snacks.
Yeah, you tell him. That's a decent stack for season 7 London victor David Vamplu.
Cruising right now, and he's still got a case of the vamps.
In fact, he's in the top 10, as are Sam Trickett and Devilfish. Drew Patel, who's at our main feature table, still leads. Well, let's head back to the main stage. Action's on Hellmuth. 5-4 in the small blind.
Gonna have to check the math on this one, but I think this is a fold.
Not much left, buddy.
He's raised for nearly half his stack.
You want to get it all in? I'll gamble with you.
Definitely can't raise fold.
McLean 3-bets, enough to put Hellmuth all in.
Figured you were gonna fold.
I feel like folding.
And Phil calls.
It's pretty bad.
He is drawing live, at least.
I'll show you the old school stand up, get ready to leave.
That's what, I mean, then you win. You auto win if you do that. No way you lose.
Again, I don't have to check the math on that. Oh, math checks out, turns out.
You can't lose if he does. Look at it, he's throwing on this wet.
He's gonna
Yeah,
win.
it's over.
The jacket on.
It's gonna be like 4-4-4 flop.
I like his chances better if he can get outside, hail a cab, and get halfway to Heathrow.
Will the incredible Hellmuth comeback continue? Well, it's looking unlikely. There's a 10 for McLean.
Well, that looks like a good reason.
Yeah, that's not a good flop for you.
Helmuth picks up outs on the turn.
It's always a sweat.
He needs a 3 on the river to survive. And doesn't hit.
Nice hand.
from this competition?
A graceful exit for the poker brat.
Good game, man.
That's what he does now. It's boring.
Good game.
Go and bust Phil home, you
The amount of TV time. We were at the bottom of the stairs to Steve Chamberlain's, but on Facebook it popped up thing, and we literally were taking 3 steps at a time to run up.
Well, these guys are eating it up.
All right, Phil.
All right, Cal. All right, good luck, boys.
What a day Hellmuth has had. Down to 400, spins it up, and then eliminated by Leo McLean.
But what a day for him. It's got to be a pretty cool feeling to have qualified for less than 100 quid, end up on TV, and then bust the most successful big field tournament player of all time.
Let me know, bud.
Hi, Phil.
What's up, Fishy?
How you doing, bro? Good?
Yeah.
Apart from we got your coat on and you stood here, which isn't a good sign.
Burn.
Hey, how long you staying in London?
I don't know, for a while.
Where you staying? I don't want your room number, I just wonder where you're staying.
You have my number.
Devilfish is so old, his cell phone number is 7.
Hey, Phil, on your way out, make sure you don't bump into the big shit. Oh, too late.
It looks good flat. So are you named after this river?
What?
You know, James Thames.
You moron, it's pronounced Thames.
So I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
Classic Joe Stapleton.
Classic James Hardigan.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT London main event. Before the break, online qualifier Leo McLean caught our eye by busting one of the biggest names in the game. So we're picking him as our qualifier to watch.
Flame on!
Leo McLean, 24, from Rushden, Northamptonshire. Project management within retail, shop, installations and marketing and merchandising. I qualified online for 93 quid. I've tried twice previously for Prague last year and Barcelona this year, but no luck, so third time lucky. The buzz around the event and the high standard of play is where you want to be when you poker play. Phil Hellmuth's one of the players that you always watch.
Go on, Busfield, homie.
Playing against some of the big names you see on TV. It's been really, really good fun, and I've enjoyed it more than anything, so that's the main thing, really.
Oh my God, we're having a qualifier sale! Seriously though, too soon, 1666, never forget.
Leo's in the big blind here, facing an under-the-gun raise from chip leader Drew Patel. Leo defends with ace-9 suited.
And who tooted?
The flop is ace-4 deuce, top pair for McLean, a flush draw for Patel.
Pretty good flush draw.
Action check to the pre-flop aggressor.
I think there's a case for Drew to check back here, but not a strong one, not Matlock strong.
He continues for 2,100.
I also think there's a case for Leo to fold here, but it's even less strong than another case that I just said wasn't very strong.
He calls. The turn card is the 8 of diamonds. That's the flush for Patel. He now has a lock on the hand. It's been checked to him a second time.
If Drew's a very active player, which he appears to be, I like him to keep betting here.
And he does bet 3,200.
And it looks like Scorpion here is the one who's being told, get over here! He's drawing deader than the split decision fatality.
He calls. We go to the river with more than 16,000 in the middle. An inconsequential 10.
Whoa, 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 he's now got a pair to go with his flush, James. No, Leo, don't do it. He's gonna turn his hand into a bluff, but for it to work, it's gonna need to be an absolute bomb.
7,200.
And this river bluff doesn't exactly check out. If Patel had no hand, ace-9 would probably be good. If he does have a hand, he's probably not folding. It's a pretty easy just call with the hand he's got.
He does call. And we'll show a winner.
Qualifier, Scorpion gets burned. Toasty! And we'll really see what kind of composure a qualifier has, depending on how well he bounces back from this, or doesn't.
Meanwhile, let's hear Drew Patel talk through a hand he played earlier at our feature table, a rather bizarre hand against Julius.
We're on a feature table. I have Julius to my left. He's been quite active in a lot of pots. I have Queen Jack off. I open for 1700. Kyle 3-bets to 3800. I may fold, but I think his 3-bet range is pretty wide. Both of us are pretty deep at this stage, so I'm happy to flat. Flop king, 7-5, 2 clubs. I check. Kyle C-bets to 3400. I call. I think a lot of the time he has like 9s, 10s, maybe 8s, possibly queens, but I very much doubt it. I have 1 queen myself, so most of the time it's 8s through to 10s. Turn comes a jack of diamonds. I now check. Kyle bet 7200. I raise to 17.5. I'm pretty much range merging. Some of the time I'm good with my hand and some of the time I'm not, but it's better to raise for me than to call, because a call is just such a weak play in this spot. I think I can get called by hands like 8s through to 10s, which I'm beating. When he tanks and just flats, now I think he's probably got king queen, maybe king 10. He doesn't have these 8s through to 10s now. So I'm now obviously losing. The only way for me to win this pot is by betting big on river. The river comes an 8. Now, my range looks pretty strong. I could often have 9-10 because I have double gut shot on the turn, which I may check raise. In my opinion, I have to bet on the river. I can't check because too often I check behind with a better hand. All in. Now, this is uncommon in tournaments for someone to bet this big. And I know that he will know that. By jamming all in, it's such a tough spot. Obviously, I want him to fold, and I feel great when he folds.
Could have been a hero.
Well, Drew was only wrong about a few things. The rest, he was really wrong about.
Yeah, Kyle had a weaker hand. Drew actually wanted a call there. Over to our secondary feature table, where Devilfish has raised and been called in 2 spots. Action is now on Tim Adams, who's got kings in the small blind.
Well, this is a bit of a loose open from Devilfish. Don't think Timmy's gonna want to be taking this flop 4 ways very often.
Adams will 3-bet, re-raising to 8,800. Dara Okani in the big blind.
See ya!
Action now back on Devilfish, the original raiser. And he calls!
Dave, whoa, that call's looser than the pants in the after picture.
Toth and Reimer both fold. Heads up to the flop. 10-9-3. Not much for the fish.
Not much to dislike if you got kings.
Adams continues for 11,200.
Big bet from Adams.
What are you doing? Don't get excited, kid.
Ankle shoot!
How ruffle you're at.
I don't know if I want that to be a euphemism or not.
Devilfish eventually folds, and Tim Adams adds nearly 17,000 to his stack.
It's like Tim Adams is the bizarro Devilfish, his complete opposite in every possible way.
Well, Devilfish has 2/3 of the Triple Crown. He's just missing an EPT title. He's second on England's all-time money list with over $6 million in live tournament winnings, only behind Sam Trickett. As tables breaking, Victoria Curran-Mitchell on the move. She'll be taking a seat at table 23. Let's check in on the table that Vicky will soon be coming to. 3 players have gone to the turn, and the action has been checked to 2 Doperice. And this is a bet of 9,100 from the Romanian.
You're Romania.
Darius Sammartino calls. Kenny Hallett folds, heads up to the river, which is a jack.
Dario.
He checks.
Tudor.
He checks behind. Sammartino shows pocket 7s. Perice has a jack.
It has not been a super day for Dario's. I'm going to call that river the Danube because it ran the length of Romania. You're Romania.
Tudor Perice is now playing nearly 290,000. He is the current tournament chip leader, ahead of Brits Chris Brammer and Drew Patel. Team Pro represented in the top 10 by Barry Greenstein.
You mean poker legend Barry Greenstein?
And his fellow Team Pro is taking her new seat assignment.
All right, dude, suck in your guts. There's a lady present.
Hello. How are you this morning?
No.
Oh,
Was better yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
Kenny.
I went up to 70 or something. Found a pair of jacks again. Just so you know,
And they were no good.
if I play any hands, you know for certain it's not 2 jacks, because they're going right in the muck.
As long as you don't throw the Jakes in the muck, am I right? Oh, he's short too. Boring. Who else we got?
We've got Daniel Negreanu, but the bad news is he is also short.
This is bogus, dude.
Good news, the bear has a ton of chips.
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Poker legend Barry Greenstein.
Back to the feature table, blinds up to 600, 1200 with a 200 ante. On this hand, we're going to sweat with Drew Patel. The action's been folded to him. He's got 8-6 suited in the small blind.
You know, I'm a little scared to get into this kid's head, especially since I think Kyle might be out to get us, but I guess we can race.
He makes it 3,000.
You think Kyle Julius likes the bulls? You think he likes the bulls? I think he likes the bulls.
Kyle defends. So 7,800 in the pot already. And the flop is ace, jack, 7. Only one club.
Not a very good flop for us, which means I'm totally cool with bluff c-betting and trying to take it down now.
And that's what he does, betting 3,200.
I think Kyle can call us with just about any piece.
Julius does call.
No, of course he does. Hoop dreams.
The turn card is the 5 of clubs, flush draw alert, and an up and down straight draw alert.
Sick turn for us. We just picked up every draw imaginable. Okay, no, but we picked up 2 draws, big ones, and I think as a general rule, it's cool to keep bluffing when you've picked up equity.
He does continue for 5,000.
Maybe we win the pot right here. Maybe we get a little treat on the river. And it looks like we're going to be banking on that river treat.
Julius calls the 5K. We are heading to the river. 3 of spades. Brick.
Oh man, we missed harder than the Jersey Shore missed the Emmys. Ironically, we also have a situation. We have the stone bottom of our range with no showdown value at all. No, I think we were supposed to bet there.
Drew shuts down and it goes check, check.
8 high.
Huh?
King.
Well, kid, we let that one get away from us. This hand was ruined. Totally ruined.
Carl Julius wins the pot with just king high.
He doesn't have a bluff, but it was.
If you want to play in an EPT event, go to PokerStars.com, where there are qualifiers every day.
Now this is a bridge. Take my picture. Please.
Oh, go on then.
Okay, you got the bridge?
Yes.
You got me?
Yes.
How do I look?
Larger than life.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT London main event from the Grand Connaught Rooms, hosted by the Hippodrome Casino. We're down to just 200 players as we kick off level 12 of the tournament. Blinds are now 800, 1600 with an ante of 200. Action at the feature table has been folded around to Matt Franklin, who's got aces.
Raising would be a good start.
And he does raise to 3,500. Well, Anthony Larabe has only just arrived at the feature table and he could be about to depart because he's picked up queens.
I don't see how he doesn't go broke here, other than a dirty, dirty suck out.
81.
He 3-bets, re-raising to 8,100.
Matt, how much you paying?
I think it's 59.
Drew Patel's got kings.
Things are about to get weird.
19-2.
There's the cold 4-bet. 19,200. Carl Julius folds the big blind. Action is back on Franklin.
And I think with that 4-bet, Patel's saying he's pretty much committed to calling it all in.
All in.
Franklin shoves. Larabe
can't love it, can't fold it.
Calls all in. Andrew Patel calls as well, a 3-way all in.
Drew's the only player who can't go broke.
Sick.
Aces versus kings versus queens.
Yep.
Franklin in a great spot here. Larabe not so much. Patel playing for the side pot of 40,600 against Frankland. All low cards on the flop.
This is looking really, really good for aces.
Patel looking for a king. Larrabee looking for a queen, or he'll be eliminated. 7 on the turn.
Franklin set for better than a double up.
Patel just 5%. As is Larrabee. A 5 on the river. Larrabee eliminated.
Yeah, it's quite 9.
And Drew Patel loses nearly 60k.
I'm not usually confident, but I asked Jake and Toby what they do on all-ins. And they just said all they do is they just figure out how much they're going to have after they hold. I feel like all my negativity over the years, I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah. That is genius, actually.
Yeah, I've definitely got wider than just aces.
You think I should fold?
Oh, he should. He
fold.
probably should. Yeah.
He should fold.
Yeah. Yeah, queens aren't looking as pretty as they were anyway, regardless.
I find many of the ladies in my life are often better looking in the heat of the moment, but still, you can't ditch them. You're their ride home, and your mom works with their mom.
Well, Matt mentioned Jake Cody. He has totally committed himself pre-flop. And Mario Piccini bets enough to put Jake all in. Jake calls. Jake needs a 7 on the river, and it can't be the 7 of hearts. He's out.
Jake Cody is no Modi. When's dinner?
Another British EPT champion hits the rail. Talking of former EPT winners, Victoria Corin Mitchell has just been shoved on by Kenny Hallett.
Isn't Jax, so that's
the next one, 808. No, go on, you know what, not this one. Another one.
Vicky folds 8-4.
8-4 wasn't good enough this time, Hallett, but let me tell you something. You suspect.
So Vicky survives for now. But we've lost the guy who won this tournament back in Season 8. Benny Spindler eliminated.
Oh, no, not 7-bet Benny. He won London my first season on the tour. He's all hair and re-raises. Sad.
Over to the secondary feature table, Devilfish is just 4-bet Daniel Reimar, who has aces.
Normally not a bad 4-bet, but not with these stack sizes.
Oh, and
there's the shove. No surprise there.
We got King Jack again.
Ankle shoot.
No, they throw it in. It's pretty bad this time. Obviously.
After a 4-bet, Devilfish is actually only getting the right odds to fold against exactly 2 hands. Aces and the other 2 aces.
Okay, give him the money.
He lets it go.
He's won last 3 times with the worst hand. Now am I going to beat the best hand now?
What do you think of that wig, ladies?
Did you want action?
Does Miley Cyrus want attention?
I didn't really mind.
I had an ace. So maybe I had 3 outs. I don't know. I guess I
yeah, definitely need 3 outs.
I had 3 outs, yeah.
Reports reach us of major sickness across the room. John Juanda, who was the runner-up in this event in Season 7, is out.
Sorry about that. Okay.
John's pocket aces cracked by Dan Smith's pocket 3s. Dan hit a 2-outer on the river.
That river was so dirty they should erect a giant Ferris wheel next to it.
And as Juanda heads to the exit, Dan Smith becomes the new tournament chip leader. Meanwhile, D-Negs is all in.
Kings and jacks, or whatever. 2 pair, some kind of 2 pair. I think it's coming.
He's in a race against Anton Wigg, winner of EPT Copenhagen in Season 6. Daniel needs a face card or a 10.
Oh, wow, I missed. Wow. I'm surprised. Are you?
I'm surprised, too. I thought
wow.
you were going to get there.
I don't think I don't feel like going. I feel like I'm supposed to win.
That's a bit... I knew it was going to come, but it should really come, shouldn't it, really?
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't expect to be done right now. Well, that's it then.
Cheerio.
Cheers. I guess I get to have a beer and all that stuff.
Sure.
See you guys.
See ya.
Have fun. Oh, you can have this. It's for you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I wonder how many times you have to go broke in a tournament before you take it that well.
Hey.
Do you guys think Daniel's going to hang out with the 100,000 people that are going to reply to this tweet? I don't think he is. Even if he is wearing a garbage bag.
Let's head back to the main feature table, where during the last level, Frederick Jensen has quietly chipped up.
Jensen, what a yoker.
Action's been folded to Carl Julius, who's got pocket 9s. He raises to 3,300. Pocket jacks for Jensen.
Don't you mean pocket yaks? By the way, this is not an automatic 3-bet. No reason to play for stacks when it's a hand that plays post-flop pretty well.
He calls.
Hey, you think that's Lawrence Houghton's girlfriend on his t-shirt? Nah, it's probably his sister.
He passes. Kent Rudd has recently taken that seat at our feature table. He gives up the small blind, but our qualifier, Leo McLean, is going to defend his big blind with 8-6 suited.
Standard defend.
Three-way to the flop. Ace-10-4 with 2 diamonds.
Nobody can really like this flop. At least Leo can check fold with confidence.
There's the check. Julius was the pre-flop aggressor.
And it looks like he's going to try to take this down right away. I think a check is fine. I don't think any better hands are going to fold to one barrel. Some worse could call, though, I guess.
His continuation bet is 4,300. Jensen, with the best hand, calls. And there is the fold from McLean.
Yeah, I think even a 10 is going to call there.
Heads up to the turn. 6 of hearts.
No real change to this board at all. I'd expect to go check, check here a lot.
Action on Julius. And he does slow down. He checks to Jensen. But doesn't look like Frederick is checking behind. He bets 7,200.
Well, it's kind of the same thing I said before, but now about Jensen. I think most worse hands are going to fold now. Kyle probably should. But he's not.
Nope, he calls, and we go to the river.
Both these guys are kind of just guessing their hands might be good. Kind of an old school flair to this one.
King on the river. Julius checks. Now Jensen checks.
2 nines.
2 jacks.
And they're good.
All right, I'll give credit. Jensen value bet the best hand and got paid, on the turn at least. Been a weird day at the feature table.
Carl Julius is now below average in chips. Frederick Jensen, on the other hand, up to nearly 197,000. He is now a top 10 stack. Well, let's head over to the outer tables. And a short while ago, we mentioned that Dan Smith had taken the tournament chip lead. Well, he's now lost that chip lead. He's just given half the chips he took from John Juanda to Andrew Mosley. And Mosley is now tournament boss.
Easy come, easy go. Except way easier go. Frustrating.
Mosley showed the nut flush there. Dan Smith chose to muck on the river. Well, that is the end of the level. It means it's time for the players to go on break. And with 163 players remaining, Drew Patel is no longer on the leaderboard, following his clashes with Carl Julius at the feature table. Confirmation that it's Andrew Mosley who leads, with close to 345,000 chips. Romania's Tudor Perice sits in second. Dan Smith is still in the top 5, as is Steve Warburton, who bubbled this event back in Season 8. And former EPT winner Frederick Jensen sits in 8th with nearly 200k. Next time, the Brits are battling on home turf as Tom Middleton and Sam Trickett headline our feature table.
I need a hand soon, buddy. Stepped up a notch, didn't it? Burn my nuts.
And Devilfish eyes his second EPT score.
Poker legend, I don't know. I mean, that's what it says in my book.
But the field is stacked with talent, all hungry for a £500,000 payday.